Ever since we started Friday Night Flights, I've been asked repeatedly, when are you going to feature Boulevard? We've waited until tonight because this weekend, Boulevard Brewing Company celebrates its 30th anniversary. And who better to talk all things Boulevard than the guy who started it all back in 1989.
Boulevard's now iconic smokestack is as Kansas City as it gets. But it wasn't always this way. We recently sat down with the brewery's founder, John McDonald.
When I first started building the brewery, this whole area was bad, it was rough. And I think we've been a very important part of the social fabric, the fabric of Kansas City.
Seems hard to believe it's been 3 decades since a much younger McDonald personally delivered a keg to Ponak's Mexican Kitchen. That's the very first keg of beer he sold at Boulevard. McDonald says that first year was hard. The cabinet maker turned brewer ran out of cash. A bank loan saved his business just as he was trying to figure out how to save American beer.
I loved beer, but I was dissatisfied with the beer I could buy. And it was a time when really beer in America was pretty to be honest with you.
In fact, McDonald says American beer was the laughingstock of the world back then.
That's all reversed now because of craft brewers. Really, today, there isn't anybody from Germany or Belgium that wouldn't tell you that the best beer in the world is being made in America.
If timing is everything, consider when McDonald began Boulevard. In 1882, there were more than 3,000 breweries in the U.S. In 1982, that number dwindled to just 40. In 1989, Boulevard's first year, there were about 100 American breweries. Today, there are roughly 8,000 breweries in the U.S.
I don't love the competition, I have to admit, but I love the idea of it.
In 2013, McDonald sold Boulevard to Belgian beer maker Duvel Moortgang. Beer Business Daily estimated the sale price at $100 million. And get this, he still clocks in.
I'm not day to day. They still let me come in when I want, which is great.
His kids worked in the brewing business, but both are now pursuing other interests.
That was one of the reasons I sold the brewery. My kids were of an age where I knew that I would have to stay involved for another 10 or 15 years, and then I was going to be 75 or 80 years old by the time they were ready to take over. And so, I just thought better to find a good partner and move on.
Consider what he helped to create. A brewery that's beer can now be bought in 41 states and 11 countries internationally.
It doesn't matter how big the brewery is. It matters how much you care about the beer you make.
And that, says McDonald, is his recipe for success.
You can't make people drink your beer. What you can do is make people like you and like your business. And I think that's what I'm most proud of.
Yes, he is proud of what he has built, but it was clear during our interview he is just as proud of the city he still calls home.
Kansas City's a great town, It always has been, but it's greater today than it was 30 years ago. Because there's lots of businesses like Boulevard Brewing Company that are re-energizing Kansas City, and I think you see it every day.
He is a fascinating guy to talk to. What he's built and what he's done and what he's doing now.
Yeah, and I mean, he has had such a huge impact on the entire city and obviously the beer industry around the world too.
In a good way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If you'd like to see more of our interview with John, just head over to kctv5.com. And next Friday, the anniversary celebration continues because we meet Boulevard's master brewer. He answered a help wanted ad in a magazine 20 years ago. He left his home country of Belgium and says he's never looked back.